Let us all work together to not only bring justice to this horrible situation, this attack on free press in France, but let us also work together to bring an end to terrorism in our time. We can work with our allies and friends in France to achieve that goal.
Governments around the world are reacting to the Paris terrorist attacks. American President Barack Obama condemned what he termed the horrific shooting at the French magazine. German Chancellor Angela Merkel called the killings despicable. And every leader has or will express their condolences to families. But let's dig into the backrooms of these governments and seek out what they should have been doing and need to be doing now to prevent such attacks from ever occurring. Let's welcome back to MidPoint, former senior advisor at the State Department during the George W. Bush administration, also president of the Hamilton Foundation. Christian Whiton joins us today. Chris, always a pleasure to see you.
Great to be here, Ed. Thanks.
Chris, let's go ahead and dig a little bit into the governmental side of things. We are hearing exactly what we heard just a few moments ago. We're sorry, our condolences, we will work together. I got to tell you, Chris, there's a lot of people, it doesn't make a difference whether they're on the left or the right, who want the governments to come out and just be a little bit more hard-nosed and try and go after this, to attack and go after the terrorists. Is that a smart move?
Yeah, I think they need to do that. I think, the publics of all of these democracies are right on in that they want they want clarity in who the enemy is. You need to have that before you can be serious about how you're going to defeat it. I mean, look at the rap sheet. You're already hearing some talk about how this is a lone wolf. It doesn't look like it, frankly. It looks like a very sophisticated, well-trained set of perpetrators. But you had Fort Hood, you had the Boston bombing, you had the recent attack in Ottawa, Canada, you had the stabbing of a soldier in London, you had the hostage taking in Sydney, and all the times leaders come out and say things like, at least the president did come out and call it terrorism. I mean, it wasn't workplace violence today, but we haven't gotten to what really is motivating this, to who the enemy really is, which is unfortunate.
Well, is that part of it then? Because we always talk about leadership here, and again, it wouldn't make a difference whether it was a left, right, indifferent president, whatever. But currently we have an administration whom you even said, many people have said, does not want to use the word terrorism, does not want to go after, does not want to appear to be a hard nose and get in people's faces and say, we're here to stop this. Is that really something, would that make a difference if this president decided to take that kind of attack?
I think so. Fundamentally, a lot of things have to happen to win this war, but one of the most important is to get Muslims in the West to instigate basically change within Islam, and a separation of Islam, the religion, from Islamism, the political, tyrannical ideology. And that's not going to happen until our leaders develop some backbone. Also, you have a consistent defining down what is terrorism. I mean, the Obama administration, tried from the beginning to define it to just al-Qaeda and then just core al-Qaeda. And the fact now that you have these attacks that aren't being coordinated by some guy in a cave in Afghanistan, but are happening for other reasons, because people can just sort of raise their hands and say, I want to be part of this terrorist, tyrannical ideology. It's just, like I said, it's a shame. It's a missed opportunity.
Chris, about a minute left here. You've been in these rooms before with these leaders, George W. Bush, of course, and others. What should be happening? Not what is, but what should be happening right now if they seriously want to stop these attacks? What should these governments be doing today?
Governments are best at handling other governments, so we should be clear about the governments that support Islamist terrorism. It's governments like Iran, like the Palestinian Authority, frankly, like Turkey, our NATO ally, going after them for support not only for terrorists, but also for Islamists, the people who want to unify mosque and state, and then just telling the truth. Okay, we can say that Islam is a religion of peace, whatever, but saying that the people who purvey Islamism need to be confronted, and we need to be honest about the threats that face us. This wasn't just an attack on free speech, it's an attack on Western values and freedom. And unifying the West, unifying free nations against this is what leaders ought to do.
And as we're seeing from a lot of the videos here, very well planned, very well coordinated, and certainly something that didn't just happen on the spur of the moment. Chris, always a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll do it again soon.
Thank you, Ed.
All right, break, and we're back with a positive moment on a difficult day. One man who is helping those who help protect this country every single day. Because with terrorism, that means we need protection. That usually means our military. We'll have that story and more when we continue right here on MidPoint.